Hi everyone, welcome to Anywhere Anytime channel. In this video that I'm going to explain how to send data from Python to flask template and vice versa. Let's do that. First open the command window. We open the command window in an administrator mode. Go to that root directory. Then we create our project directory. My project is our project directory. Now get into it. First we need to check either we have a Python in our system or not. If it is not installed, install it. Go to that Python website and download it, install it. Let me check I have Python or not. So I have Python 3.10.5. Also we need to check the pip that we have installed. I have pip also. Let me check the flask is also there. So if those all are things not there, then we need to install it. Okay. Luckily I have all those things. So let's start our coding directly. Open VS Code. Visual Studio IDE. Open it. Then open our project folder. In that folder, let me create a template folder, a folder called templates. So under this folder that we are going to have our HTML file. Let's create a HTML file called index.html. So in this index.html that we are going to have some form elements to receive name and address from the user. Let's design the HTML. Doc type HTML is a root element. Inside that body tag, then form tag. Let's have a form element. We need to enter username. For that we are going to create a text field using this command. Input type is equal to text. Give a name to this text field. Name is equal to name. Then we need one more text box to enter address. So we create once again input type is equal to text. Now we give a name to this text field as address. Then we need to submit these two data to the Python. For that we need a submit button. Let me create it. Input type is equal to submit, value equals send. If we click the submit button, the name that we entered, address that we entered in this text field will be sent to Python view. So let me design where we want to send this data using action attribute of form tag. where we specify the root URL. We say that root URL as /index. To send these two values, we use post method. With the help of post method, HTTP post method, these two values will be delivered to Python view. Now we create a Python view under my project. We name our view like app.py. So in that app.py, first we need to import flask and we need to define entry point. How to import flask means from flask import flask. Then the app entry point is app equal flask of underscore underscore name underscore and underscore. That is the entry point of our application. Then we define our app root with the help of @app root. Here our app root is /index. This is the app root URL which is used by that will be used by index.html. So while using that index.html, that follows post method. So we define the method equal to, it can be either get method or post method. Suppose if the request as method get, then we need to render our index.html in the browser. So how to do it? Let me design a function like index. Then we need to check the request method is get or post. How to check? Request dot method equal to get. So if it is get, let me import request. So if it is get, then I want to display the index.html. For that, we need to return render template function, where we need to specify what is the HTML file that you want to display. You want to display index.html. Suppose if the request method is post, then what we need to do, we need to receive the data that are coming from index.html and then we need to processing it. So here we are going to receive it and we are going to just redirect to index.html. So we are receiving data from flask template to Python view. From the view, we are again sending back to template. So let's check elif request dot method, if it is equal to post. If it is equal to post, we receive data that are coming from index.html. How to receive? There are two data that are coming from index.html. One is name from this text box. The text box name is name. And address also coming from this text box. This text box name is address. So with the help of this name, that we receive the data. So we receive the data and we store it in a local variable called name. How to receive? By using request.form, where we specify the name of the text field. Then we create one more local variable called address, where we store the address. request dot form of address. After receiving this data, I want to redirect. I want to send it back to index.html. Before sending back to index.html, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a dictionary where I'm going to embed these two data. Name, which is the key, the value is name. Another one key we have called address, where we store address. This dictionary we need to send back to index.html. So for that we use return render template. To which template you want to return? You want to return to index.html. What we want to return? You want to return data equal to data. By the way, we send back to data. We send back the data to index.html. So the index.html, now the data is coming back to here. So we need to receive those data also. So how to receive? So after form tag, I'm going to receive. How to receive means with the help of flask template tag, we can receive it. First we need to check if data dictionary is not empty, right? If it is not empty, then we receive it. Okay, we receive it and print and display it inside the paragraph tag. How to print? Here again we use flask template tag and display our data that resides inside the dictionary called data. One is name, another one is address. That's it. Our program is ready to run. So this is the program for sending data from template to Python view and from view to flask template. Python usually follows we have a lot of framework architecture, MVC, MVT architecture. In those, if you use MVT architecture, we have model, M represents model, V represents view, T indicates template. So templates are HTML, usually HTML. View in MVT architecture, view usually used for having our business logic. Model, here we don't have model. Model usually used for storing database related code. Model will be useful for handling data. So in this program we have only two components, view and template. So here we have our business logic, receiving how to receive data from template and redirect to the template. So this is our template. Now the program is over. Let's run. How to run? Go to command prompt. We run our server, Flask server. Before running our Flask server, we need to set a Flask variables equal to app.py. Also we need to set Flask environment Flask underscore env equal to development. is a development environment. Once these two steps are over, then we start running up our flask server by using this command flask run. So our program is running, our server is running, that is running on port number 5000 in the URL 127.0.0.1. So let's call this URL in the browser. Go to browser 127.0.0.1 colon 5000 is the port number, then slash index, that is the app URL, app root URL that we need to use. So now we are sending get method. So if you send get method, the HTML index.html will be rendered. So that is showing name and address field. Here we enter name, here we enter address. After clicking send button, the post method will send these two data back to a Python view where it will be received and will be processed. Let me check. See that these two values are sent to here and are received here, embedded here, and redirect back to index.html. The same has been received here. So this is about how to send data from Python view to Flask template and vice versa. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for joining.